I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you
Greetings technicians, this is Admin Crow here, your coach of the Toronto Star Raptors, bringing you the Teambuilder for another week in the PCL Season 3. And this is Week 7, we are taking on Midgar Manectrics, coached by Slife, who is actually one of the tremendous battlers from last season. He has a really good record, better than us, I think. He only lost 2 games last season in the regular season, I'm pretty sure, and both of these games were to Husamsma. Which is arguably one of the best battlers in the entire league, in my opinion. Anyways, Slife is a person who doesn't really talk too much on the channel, I would say. So I didn't really get to study his play style overall, but the point I'm trying to make is this week, not only I don't have too much time to team build, but at the same time, it's actually a really difficult matchup for me. I just want to emphasize the fact that it's probably one of the most difficult team builder for myself, just matchup wise, to date. There's literally nothing I can bring, or I guess nothing I can bring that will make myself comfortable in this matchup, because both Excadrill and Infernape literally just 6-0s my entire squad. There's not too much I can do about it. So his entire roster and his list should appear to your right momentarily. So I am going into this this battle this week with the mindset of losing, to be honest. The battle has already been played at this point, but I'm just gonna record this team builder to a point, basically based on what I think he's gonna be bringing and what my expectations are, instead of what he actually brought, of course. Just like the past. So we'll just let's just get started with the set, shall we? So up first we have Wintel Jr. the Gligar. It's literally the first mon that I packed, I brought. This is basically the order that I built my team pretty much every week. The first mon that came into my mind is not Volcarona, it's not Nihilego this week, it's my Gligar, my boy. Wintel Jr. packing the Eviolite with the ability Scent Veil. Yes, I did not mess up this time. It has Scent Veil over immunity. Hear me out after. But I'm gonna go over the movesets first. Packing the Earthquake Roost, Stealth Rock and U-Turn. U-Turn for momentum, Stealth Rock for my hazards. He does have quite a few Rapid Spinner, I believe 3 or 2 on his roster. I know both Excadrill and Ariados off the top of my... No, sorry, Almardo off the top of my head. I believe he has another spinner. I can't recall what it is off the top of my head, but he of course also have Defog as well, through both Lati and Mentai, and but Stealth Rock is quite important this week, in a sense that even though his team is not really weak to rocks and he has a dual steel type as well, but the chip damage is very important for a lot of my calcs later, and at the same time I'm actually not bringing hazard control this week because I cannot fit defog on any of my sets, and I don't feel like bringing him on top, even though him on top is actually pretty good bring, but especially to check a offensive drill in sand, stretching it out with Mach Punches and etc. But I have a tough choice deciding between Technician and Intimidate. I want Intimidate for the drill and his physical attackers, obviously, but it becomes setup fodder for a lot of things, especially that Lati. Even though I don't expect it to come per se, but it also loses me momentum every time I switch into it, because there's a lot of monsters on his roster that can switch into him on top very comfortably, either fire off the spore, namely being that Among Us, or just take advantage of it pretty easily. So that's why I opt to go against it. I only brought Gligar and physically defensive Gligar as well, almost max defense with Impish Nature, just to handle the Excadrill. That was my idea there. And Scent Veil is to take advantage of his stand and my own stand as well. I also thought about bringing a Nerve T-Tar this week. I didn't want to really give him the stand, but it's something that I cannot do. You guys will be able to see it later from my set on my T-Tar. I was forced to bring stand on my T-Tar. I cannot run a Nerf due to a certain move that I'm running on my T-Tar. yeah, the set itself is pretty self-explanatory. Rules for recovery, EQ is mandatory this week to be able to straighten out that escadrille under the stand. So this is my dedicated escadrille answer. That's why I couldn't afford to run defog on it. I mean, I can't afford a move slot. Obviously, I can get rid of U-turn or anything, but chances are I'm not gonna be wanting this thing to take any additional damage than it needs to. I need it to be as healthy as possible to take on the escadrille, and Sand Veil is there to help me out, potentially dodge a move here and there, instead of immunity. Obviously, he's not gonna expect me not to run immunity on my Gligar, so that was my idea. So up next we have a Chompo, the Mega Garchomp, packing the Garchompite, and the ability Sand Veil. Yes, you see it right. Sand Veil for regular Garchomp, and Sand Force for Mega Garchomp. Yes, I'm playing the Sand game. It's Sand versus Sand this week, and I'm not backing out. Anyways, it's basically the same idea as Gligar, to potentially dodge a move here and there, and be able to abuse the Sand that he tries to set up. I will try not to set up the Sand myself, because that pretty much gives Escadrille a free switch in and just get a kill whenever he comes in. So we'll see about that. And for the movesets, we have Facade, Dragon Claw, EQ, Outrage. Just 4 attacks, pretty straightforward. I don't have Rock Slide for the Mantine, because I do have Facade for it in case he wants to burn me, which it's probably not gonna have move slot forward Ice Beam, simply because it's gonna want to run Haze. Wait, does it even get Haze? Actually, oh, it does. Mantine gets Haze. It will probably run Haze for the Manaphy. There's a chance that he brings it as well, simply because he brought it against Brandon when Brandon had Mizuiko, the Manaphy. And Brandon was being able to blow back the Mantine with a Tail Glow boosted Hidden Power Electric. I decided not to go that route. You guys will see a little bit later. As you can see, I am bringing Manaphy this week, but the set itself also allows me to deal with Mantine. And EQ just for my stab, and Dragon Claw hits his Levitator, mainly being the Lati. And Outrage for myself to lock into in case I get rid of his Mimikyu, which is his only fairy type on his roster. So if I'm fighting Sand with Sand straight on, I have to bring my Sand abusers as well, right? So not only I'm bringing Mega Garchomp, but also bringing the Sand Veil ability on my regular Garchomp. So the EV spreads are pretty self-explanatory. I need to ensure myself to outspeed Excadrill outside of Sand. I think that's what the speed tier was set to. 299. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure this is what I set my speed tier to. Escadrille hits 298 with a Jolly Nature outside of Sand, I think. Wait, sorry. I think this is to allow me to outspeed a Mimikyu as a regular Garchomp. Yes, I think that's what I set my speed tier for. So you guys not gonna see the actual speed in regular form. So if I stay in regular, I'll be able to outspeed the Mimikyu and KO it with EQ if he's running a Jolly Nature. And I'm pretty sure it also allows me to outspeed a Excadrill outside of Sand with this spread. So yeah, that's that. Up next, we do have Proton and Klefki, packing the Sugar Berry this week, and Prankster ability. Initially, I was running a Magnetized set for the Excadrill, but I couldn't find a move slot. I was keep on getting walled by Amoonguss in Mox, and I couldn't do anything back to it because I was packing the Toxic. That's why I had Side Shock as my last move, just to be able to straighten out the Amoonguss. And the Amoonguss probably can't do anything back to me aside from Hidden Power Fire or a Spore, but I do have a Spore switch in, as you guys will see a little bit later. Hidden Power Ground for the Magnet Zone in case he has a trapping ability, Magnapole, or I'll be able to basically eat up Hidden Power Fire and then OHKO it with Hidden Power Ground. But it's primarily for the Excadrill. I'll be able to take 1 EQ with my spread, very physically defensive with the Sugar Berry. It will do 50%, around 50% to me if he is Jolly Life Orb. I'm pretty sure it does less than 50% if he's not Life Orb. So it's going to be a lot less threatening, and it also gives me a way to hit the Infernape with Hidden Power Ground. Spiked is there for hazards. As I mentioned before, I did not bring hazard control this week. That's why I want to try to spike stack him and then be able to get up hazards of my own. Toxic for everything barring the Amoonguss. It's very good against his team overall. But the Amoonguss again is something that I can safely switch into my Toxic. Basically the idea was to have Toxic and Hidden Power Ground. Toxic for everything that I can Toxic, and Hidden Power Ground for the 2 steel types that I cannot Toxic, and Side Shock also for the poison type that I cannot Toxic. So that was the idea behind the set. The EV spreads are just max HP, a lot of defense, a little bit of def to help me take a hit from the Ladi if I need to. Even though Ladi is not something that I don't expect to come, simply because I have one of the best switch-ins to Ladi, the T-Tar, but he can very well have like Hidden Power Fighting or Earthquake or something for my T-Tar. So in that regard, Klefki will be a pretty good switch into it and be able to fire off a Toxic. As it is Prankster boosted, it will have that +1 priority, be able to Toxic it before you get up a sub. So up next we do have Mizuaiko, the Manaphy, coming once again, packing the Expert Belt with the ability Hydration, of course. The movesets are Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Tail Glow. And I believe I swapped Toxic up instead of Energy Ball last minute. Initially I had Energy Ball for that Quagsire because it's going to be one of the best switch-ins to Manaphy if I got a Tail Glow up. But with that said, I couldn't really touch the Mantine because it has Water Absorb as well. So even with a Tail Glow at +3, even if he's not running any special defense investment, I cannot 2-hit KO it with the Energy Ball off my Manaphy, even if I was running Modest. But I am running Timid, so it does even less damage. So the benchmark I went for was to have enough damage to be able to OHKO a almost max def Calm Nature Amoonguss with Ice Beam after a Tail Glow. I have a chance not to KO if he's 252 Calm Nature. Even with the Expert Belt, there's a chance of me not KOing. But first of all, he has to run 252 to lift hit. Plus even with the Timid Nature, I don't guarantee, but I have it's in my favor to knock it out. I think it's like 67% chance to do so or something. There's only 2 scenarios where I don't knock out the Amoonguss. Is he got an extremely lucky roll while running a 252 Calm Nature Amoonguss, or if he's Assault Vest, in which is a lot less threatening simply because he doesn't have Spore for my team. With the Expert Belt, of course, it gives me the guaranteed KO on the Amoonguss. Aside from those 2 scenarios that I mentioned before, Scald overall is my main stab of ditching damage. I'll just click it against anything that's not Quagsire or a Mantine. That's why I do have the Toxic. So if he goes into one of those 2 mons that I mentioned before, I can just Toxic it. He's not gonna go into his Steel type hard switch into my Manaphy, right? Interfering of Scald Burn, or just take additional damage from the Scald. So that's why Toxic is so good in pair with Scald in this case. Tail Glow is basically, he's a lot of his fat or his walls are extremely slow. So after I get up a Tail Glow, he has to go into something faster than Manaphy to revenge kill me. So in which case there are scenarios where Manaphy can just straight up sweep his entire roster if I get rid of the fast sweepers. But Manaphy's job this week is mainly to handle the Amoonguss, as weird as it sounds, and maybe Toxic the Mantine and the Quagsire. As I don't have the Energy Ball, I no longer have the Energy Ball for the Quagsire. The EV spread, I believe, is also to outspeed a Jolly max speed Mimikyu. That's what the speed tier was for. So up next we do have Spectrum the Meloetta. This is my main switch into the Among Us, packing the safety goggles. So not only I won't be taking any sand residual damage both from my end and his end, but also I can switch into non-invested Among Us very freely with my EV spread. I don't need to run too much HP investment to guarantee to have my sub not be broken by a sludge bomb, and obviously with a safety goggle I cannot get spored by the Among Us as well. So the speed here is for a adamant, I'm pretty sure it's for a adamant Mimikyu in case he's running adamant life orb instead of Jolly. I have a chance to outspeed it. I mean I guarantee to outspeed adamant Mimikyu, but I have a chance to outspeed a Mimikyu in general in case he's running an adamant one, if that makes any sense. So the movesets are just Focus Blast, Side Shock, Substitute, and Energy Ball. Energy Ball for the Quagsire. Sub, just be able to sub up against his a little bit more passive mons, namely being the Among Us, Mantine, and Quagsire. And those mons are not going to break my sub with a special move because I'm so specially bulky, and I can check the Quagsire with Energy Ball and be able to fire off Side Shocks against the Among Us and Mantine as well. So Focus Blast for his Steel types, namely being the Magnezone and Excadrill, and obviously he's whatchamacallit, Gigalith. But obviously I'm gonna try to go for Energy Ball if Energy Ball gets the job done. But if I want to do a little bit more damage, or I need the damage to net the KO, I'll actually go for Focus Blast against the Gigalith as well. So yeah, that's that. I really hope this set put in the work actually. Initially I was running like I thought about getting like sub Calm Mind or similarly sub Quiver Dance with my Volcarona. But the fact that he has Quagsire and I really have move slot syndrome on my Volcarona, I can't really afford to run Giga Drain. Really hurts. And at the same time, he also has that Mantine which resists my dual stab as a Volcarona. That's why I opt to go against it. Plus, he also have Clear Smog from Among Us to be able to reset my QDs, and Haze from Mantine to reset my boost. So that's why I try to go with sub 3 attack instead of sub setup, just because his ways of dealing with setup is so potent. He has many ways to do it. So up next we have the Fire of the Week, Tyranitar, Nero the Tyranitar, female shiny Tyranitar as well, packing the Lychee Berry. With the ability Sandstream, and movesets are Crunch, Facade, Dragon Dance, and Natural Gift. So in case you guys don't know what Natural Gift Lychee Berry does, Lychee Berry itself basically raises the holder's attack by 1 when it's at quarter HP or less, but that's not the point for me to run Lychee Berry. The reason I want to have Lychee Berry is to in combination with Natural Gift, it OHKOs a fully physically defensive Quagsire from foe. It turns into a grass type attack, physical attack with 100 base power. I actually thought about running Pineapple Berry this week as well for a little bit memes from Pokemon Go. It literally doesn't do anything competitively aside from Nature Gift. Like by giving it Pineapple Berry alone, it's not gonna do anything competitively. If you guys want to see, yeah, it cannot be eaten by the holder. No effect when eaten by bug bite or pluck. But if in combination with Nature Gift, it actually turns into a grass type, physical grass type attack with 90 base power. So the reason I didn't run it for the memes was because with Lychee Berry, it's a guaranteed OHKO on a bold max defense Quagsire, but with Pineapple Berry it's actually not, even though it's only 10 power in difference. So that was the only reason I go against the meme. So yeah, I brought some heat, but not memes. Not meme to the max this week. So I believe it was like the minimum roll is 99.4, so I have like a 93 point something % chance to OHKO the Quag. I think there was like only one chance out of 16 where I don't OCO the Quack. So if he gets the roll, so be it. But that was also the reason that I'm running the spread, 252 attack with Adamant Nature. I need this to be able to OCO the Quack from full. The reason I mentioned Quack so much and I packed something specifically for it was because obviously I am setup variant. If he has an unaware ability, he's going to be able to ignore my attack boost. But obviously I am aware of the fact that even at +2 I cannot outspeed Excadrill in sand. So I have to play my Tyranitar pretty carefully. One, not to give him free sand for his Excadrill to sweep my team. And two, not to rely on Dragon Dance too much. Simply because even if I do set up, I'm not going to be able to knock out well, I guess I can get easily forced out by Excadrill anyway. And Facades in case I get burned from that Mantine or the Quagsire. And Crunch is my main stab. His team doesn't appreciate Dark Spam, but his only Dark resist I believe is Infernape, which is very unlikely to be switching into a T-Tar anyways. But he might switch into it on free switch and to check me with Mach Punch or something. Even if even that's another reason that I should be careful with Dragon Dance. I mean, I can potentially sweep his team in late game, but with the Dragon Dance. But most of the time I'm just gonna be clicking my 3 attacks anyways. So that was my idea there. Enough speed so that I do outrun a Jolly Mimikyu. I think that was speed tier I set for with my speed investment at +1. So the reason I'm not running enough to outspeed the Lati was because I have to run Jolly Nature for it, which is something that I can't afford doing. I need the Adamant Nature to be able to help me wall break. So that was my idea. Especially in Mox, I had so much trouble against Amoonguss and Quagsire as a defensive core. I had nothing for it. Initially I had to ban the T-Tar set. It did put in quite a bit of work, but that was my initial set. But I want to bring some heat this week, right? Even if I'm going into the game with a mindset of losing, as well bring some heat. Lychee Berry, Natural Gift, Grass. He's definitely not gonna expect that. So yeah, that's the team. I'm really proud of the team I came up with in the end. And shout out to Lo-Fi again, help me mock. So yeah, I guess hope you guys enjoy the team builder, and I'll see you guys in the match. That's it from me this week. See you guys next time. Goodbye, technicians.